All right, guys. I'm back and let's have some real talk about how do you actually trade? How do you make money? How do you do all this statistical edge database type of trading? How do you put it into action? How does it actually work? How do you make thousands of dollars in a single trade trading a couple of minutes a day actually? Let me show you. Because, that is what I have been doing for such a long time. And, social media is so full of these magicians, let's just say, snake oil people. Anyway, so let's put this to the test. That's one of my favorite intraday strategies that I personally use. You can actually learn it from me as well if you want it. I call it the weekly trend shift. Now, how does it work? Essentially, what I do is I go on a 15-minute chart. I have my own coded indicator that has a bunch of data that it looks at and that it takes into equation in order to give me a potential daily bias. Because that's what I need to know, right? Do I want to buy or do I want to sell? That's one of the most integral questions that we want to know what to do. And for everyone who's followed me a little bit, I'm the database guy. I always talk about the 7 building blocks, right? The market phase, the price location, the entry pattern, the time of trading, the additional confirmation, the risk management, the trade management. These things are so important. I don't go into the market without having a clear structure. It's like a building. If the building doesn't have a solid structure, it will collapse. And because I don't want the building to collapse on my head, I want to have something that actually lasts and is robust. And that goes for my trading strategies too. So, very simply stated, the way it works is that when I get a daily bias, which you see is actually here when we have a ranging market. Now, what I wait for now is that I look whether the price is going to break out of that range. And if it doesn't, then what I do is I look at a very specific time window. In this case, it's actually the London Open. So within 2 to 3 hours in the morning, if the price is going or is at the daily low or the daily high. So if I have a daily buy bias of the WTS method, the weekly trend shift, then I want to buy at the daily low. Very important. And I also want to do that close to a quarter level, a round level, a 25 level, a 50 level. And what I do is essentially I look for a clear pattern, an engulfing pattern or a pin bar. So when there's been a reversal like we've seen here at the daily low within my time window and the 15-minute is like, in this case, clearly an engulfing candle, then I will enter here. And essentially, I also have clear rules for my targets, right? In this case, 25 to 50 pips. I have trade management rules. When I reach half of my position target, I will move the stop loss to break even. My stop loss generally will be anyway 1 ATR or a couple pips below my entry. So essentially, my entry was here at the close of the 15-minute candle. My stop loss would be down here. My target would be somewhere here. And this is how I trade. One single trade in a specific time period with a clear daily bias, data-based, clear rules, no stress, no fear, no gambling. I know that, especially over a bigger amount of trades, the statistical edge is going to play out and I will have positive trades ongoing. My risk reward is doing very well. My targets are not too far, so I'm just like hoping for a 10-to-1 risk reward, man, and all that nonsense that people flex over the internet. That's how you make money. And, as you get more experience with that, you can risk more than 1% per trade. Some people would risk 5%, maybe even 10%. I would not necessarily recommend that to anyone who's especially not experienced, but you can then dial up your risk as you know what exact method you're doing, how it works, when to do what. Every move is exactly in its place, confident, database, all of these things. And that's just how it works, And I have a ton of these setups that come every single day almost. I can trade a setup like that. And that's the beauty of statistical edge, which is back tested. I have a lot of experience with the forward testing, meaning the live trading of it. So I'm not worried. I'll just show up when I have to. I do what I have to do. I do it very surgically. And that's how you make money in the market, guys. How about you? Let's get started.